What if I told you the real key to staying fit after 60 isn't some magic workout plan or a secret gene, but a mindset shift you can start today? Today we're diving into a concept that most people overlook but quietly dominates how we burn energy daily. NEAT, Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis. And no, this isn't a dry science lecture. I'm breaking it down like a creator who wants you to actually do something with it, with real-life takeaways, personal notes, and those aha moments you binge for. First, quick context. NEAT is the energy you burn outside of sleeping, eating, or formal workouts. Think walking to the bus stop, tidying the house, gardening, carrying groceries, standing while you chat on the phone. All the small, unglamorous actions that add up. The Mayo Clinic guys didn't invent this to make life harder. They showed that tiny, constant movement compounds into real, measurable differences in daily energy expenditure. What's striking is the scale. NEAT can swing by thousands of calories across people with the same weight, depending on how they live their day. That's not a footnote. That's a game changer for aging well. Idea number 1. NEAT isn't laziness. It's architecture. Personally, I think people here move more and picture a structured regime. But the truth is more interesting. Your life designs your movement. When you arrange your days so movement is baked into tasks, you're not forcing yourself to exercise. You're living in a world that gently requires your body to stay active. What makes this really interesting is how durable it is. You don't need motivation every morning to stand up for a phone call, to take the stairs, to garden, or to walk to the store. It becomes automatic. If you step back and think about it, this is less about willpower and more about the environment you construct around yourself. There's a broader trend here. Modern life culturally optimized for sedentary ease. NEAT challenges that default by reclaiming movement as a foundation, not a feature. In my opinion, that shift from I'll work out to my life moves me is where genuine, lasting health resides. A detail I find fascinating is how much this overlaps with social design. Walking with friends instead of coffee, community tasks, and family duties that require you to be on your feet. It's not just physical, it's social scaffolding for movement. Idea number 2. The 10 habits aren't magic tricks, they're signals of purposeful living. What makes this list powerful isn't each bullet as an isolated tactic, it's that they cohere into a life that centers purpose around movement. Cooking from scratch? That's not just healthier meals. It's hours of standing, reaching, and balancing. Maintaining a home isn't delegation. It's ongoing, functional strength work. Gardening isn't a hobby. It's a multi-hour, weight-bearing workout woven into life, because it matters to you. The common thread is purpose-driven movement. You do what you care about, and your body interprets that as a reason to stay capable. But here's the caveat people miss. If the action is too forced or episodic, you'll lose it. The genius of NEAT is that it thrives on boring normalcy. In my opinion, the real trick is turning your everyday routines into movement opportunities, without needing to label them as workouts. That's a deeper systemic shift. Prioritize a life you don't have to fit in a gym around. Idea number 4. The modern world fights NEAT, but you can win by rewiring errands and transport. What many people don't realize is how much of a difference small trip patterns make. The idea of doing multiple small trips rather than one big car run might sound inefficient, but it actually maximizes movement throughout the week. It's a small shift with big consequences, more frequent bursts of standing, walking, lifting, and balance challenges. And the same logic applies to errands and transportation. If you treat movement as a byproduct of living, you'll accumulate more activity without trying. From my vantage point, this reframes productivity as movement efficiency, which habits give you more steps, more standing time, more light resistance without draining your energy. A deeper question this raises is how urban design and work culture can support NEAT, sidewalks, bike-friendly routes, and workplace layouts that encourage movement by default rather than willpower alone. Idea number 5. The social and environmental layers magnify NEAT's impact. Active social life isn't just about companionship. It's a moving calendar. The more you interact in physical spaces, walks with friends, community events, playing with grandkids, the more your daily energy output becomes meaningful and sustainable. In other words, movement isn't a solo gym habit. It's a social practice embedded in how you connect with others. What this really suggests is that the healthiest aging isn't a private project, it's a communal one. If you build a network that moves with you, neighbors who join walks, family who share chores, clubs that require you to show up physically, the movement becomes a shared norm rather than a personal burden. That's a powerful perspective shift. Health as social architecture. Idea number 6. Purpose is the connective tissue. All roads lead to the same point. A life with purpose creates resilient movement. When your activities, gardening, cooking, helping a neighbor, caring for grandkids, have meaning, your body aligns its energy with those goals. The body doesn't interpret those actions as workouts. It interprets them as mission-critical tasks, which makes staying capable feel natural, not exhausting. If you take a step back and think about it, this is the deepest insight. Need is less about a set of habits and more about aligning daily life with what truly matters to you. The healthier your life's meaning, the more your body wants to stay capable enough to fulfill it. That's a profound synergy between psychology, physiology, and daily living. Deeper insight and closing thought. So, where does this lead us? If you want to age well without a gym obsession, you don't add more workouts. You design a life that moves itself. Architecture over intensity. Consistency over intensity. Purpose over pressure. And yes, you can start small. Swap one sitting habit for a standing one, walk to a nearby store instead of driving, or tend a tiny garden bed that you'll actually care for. Over weeks and months, those tiny choices compound into a lifestyle that keeps you capable well into your 70s and beyond. Final reflection. The most persuasive takeaway isn't do more. It's shape your life so movement is the natural, invisible thread. If you want a practical nudge, pick one habit from the list. Maybe stand more during calls or carry groceries a bit more deliberately and commit to it for 14 days. Watch how the rest of the day starts bending toward movement when it's built into your routine. What I'm curious about is, which of these neat habits would feel most natural in your life? Do you sense a place where you could rewire your daily tasks to become more movement-rich without adding a single formal workout? Drop a comment with the habit you're leaning toward and tell me how you think it could reshape your day. And if you want the quick, plant-powered twist, there's a 90-second quiz linked below to spark a playful reflection about how everyday choices reflect your broader purpose.